Did I not record that? Are you kidding me?
Friends and folks, welcome to the Kaiju Lounge, your home for humor, opinions, and nerd shit. And happy holidays! Yes, I said holidays. I'm a Jew who loves Christmas, so sue me. As many of you know, I took a big trip to Japan for Kaiju Big Battle for our first show ever in that country. What you may not know is that I turned the whole thing into a family vacation. Myself, my wife, my son, and my mother all came, and we had an amazing time. But life got busy, and I didn't really get to unpack that trip until now. So for the next 3 days, we will be celebrating the holidays with a special Kaiju Lounge Advent Calendar. 3 simple days discussing 3 fun, nerdy things I did in Japan, followed by finally opening the items I purchased. And what better way to begin than in the heart of Tokyo, its business center, and one of the most recognizable neighborhoods in the city, Shibuya. As the commercial center for Japan, this neighborhood is home to all sorts of large shopping centers and the headquarters of such companies like NHK, Sapporo Breweries, and the Japanese branches of corporations like Coca-Cola, Campbell's Soup, and Gap. It's home to Shibuya Crossing, the Harajuku District, Meiji Shrine. You can eat, shop, pray, hang out in the sky, take in a museum. Hell, you can go Mario Karting in the street. Legally, I can't condone the act of racing gorillas or dinosaurs in the streets of Tokyo, and the organization doing this have no relation to Nintendo in any way, even though there is literally a Tokyo level in Mario Kart now. But the primary purpose for me was Shibuya PARCO, specifically the 6th floor.
There's an entire floor upstairs dedicated to gaming. The 6th floor has a Nintendo store, a Capcom store, and I can't wait to check it out. All my favorite things in one of my favorite cities and one of my favorite countries, so we're gonna go and enjoy. Let's see what it's like.
See, the 6th floor of PARCO is a bit of a mainstream Japanese nerd shopping hub. There's an esports cafe and bar, a jump shop, a Koei Tecmo spot, and at the centerpiece of it all, the very first Nintendo store. Immediately, I was impressed with what I saw. I'm a sucker for memorabilia from my childhood, and nothing exemplifies my childhood more than a middle-aged blue-collar Italian man. So for me, I was a kid in a candy shop.
Damn, I lost. Okay, never mind.
The sights, the sounds, the nearly 50 years of gaming history being represented, it was a sight to behold. Now, granted, I live near the store at 30 Rock and have splurged there plenty of times, but this hit different. Plate sets, formal wear, boxes of things that, I actually couldn't tell what was inside of there. Loads of shirts, keychains, plushies, this adorable Animal Crossing apron set, this Luigi clutch I could not pull off but desperately wanted. It was wild to behold. I was agog at the sheer options at my disposal.
All right, phase 1 of shopping complete. Might be the most responsible purchase I make on this trip. But there is still so much more than just this. We've only just started, so let's keep going, I guess.
The Capcom store struck a bit of a contrast from the bright, almost Apple-like flagship in the center. A little darker, a much angrier Ryu out front, this almost held a bit of a Hot Topic-y vibe for me. Now granted, I was a sucker for Hot Topic in the late 90s, early aughts, so this felt right at home. Unshockingly, there was a ton of Street Fighter representation here. Pins, shirts, patches, plenty of items you would expect to find, as well as some offbeat ideas.
What I like about these is not so much that I get to look like my favorite Street Fighter character while sleeping, but it's low resolution enough that it's obvious they use the in-game graphics. Wait, hold on. Like look at the hair, look at the pixelation on the hairband. They obviously took a shot in-game and put it on here. That might sound like a dig, but that's a level of detail I'm kind of in love with.
It was also notable that Monster Hunter had its own little subsection dedicated to the franchise. I often forget that despite me not hopping on until World, this franchise has been a huge moneymaker for Capcom since its inception, especially in Japan. One thing of note, not a lot of Mega Man representation. See, this is where the old man gamer comes out, but I don't know, I was really hoping for some more classic Mega Man gear to get behind, and maybe even some deep cut franchises like Demon's Crest, Power Stone, or Breath of Fire. But I knew that was kind of a long shot, so I talked myself down from buying a pair of Monster Hunter sneakers I don't need, and moved on. Next was the Jump Store. Now, I've said this on the channel before, but I would like to reiterate, I'm no anime expert. I've covered anime events and talked to fans, and I know enough to hold my own for sure, but this is not the fandom I live and breathe. That said, since leaving my job, I have been slowly catching up on One Piece, and there was certainly plenty of that here.
Your show's too long. There, I told him.
Overall, this felt more like a standard Japanese store. Small tchotchkes, stationery, lots of stickers, and I could even compare my size to the cast of the show, which is a thing.
So my hair makes me about as tall as Usa. I'll take that. That's a win. That's a win.
I dug it and found some shirts and items that were a little more my speed. I like to wear my fandom with a bit more if you know flair. But that said, I'd say the store is still definitely worth checking out. Kind of like going to Anime NYC if Anime NYC was as big as a New York apartment.
But just trying to make my way through everything right now. And still really cool. Holy, what is that? That's just insane. That's why. Must be the Pokemon Center.
The moment you turn the corner, you are accosted by Mewtwo and Stasis and really transported into a Pokemon lab. This store is not the largest Pokemon store in Japan, but it is certainly as impressive. Tons of plushies, toys, items. I think there may have been at least one item for every single Pokemon. Big, small, if you have a favorite, it is probably here.
You can catch them all, but have you captured her heart?
More so, what might be the coolest thing I saw was a make-your-own t-shirt station. You could literally pick out your favorite Pokemon, play with some designs, and walk out with a Pokemon shirt that was completely unique to you, one of a kind. Really neat idea, if it wasn't so mobbed. Nonetheless, it was certainly an interesting way to cap off a visit to PARCO's 6th floor, an absolute nerd haven of shopping. And that's where the story ends. I wanted to film a bit more that day, but when I came up to join my family on the rooftop lounge, my son was crying. A lot. Look, he wasn't even 18 months yet, so dad mode took over and filled out my responsibilities there. However, I do still have some items to jump into. This is an advent calendar after all. So let's take a look, shall we? Starting with some items from the Nintendo store. Pretty obvious what they are just by looking at them, guys. Two ties because your boy is a professional. As I mentioned, love to wear my nerdism on my sleeve. Oh, God. Hard to open up, though. As well as around my neck. But it's always nice. Sometimes you go to a wedding or an event or even a work event. And, again, very obviously Zelda, but you can't just immediately see it. It's not shouting it out loud. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, my God. Actually, honestly, the color and the sheen of this guy is a lot nicer, I think, than I expected. Oh, I love that. And it kind of works for the holidays, too. It's not intentional, but I'm really happy with this. Felt like, look, I'm an adult. I'm a grown-up. And at my age, you got to find different ways. What I don't want is a big old tie that has, Link or a Korok on the bottom. I want to be a little subtle. I want, the other dads and moms to see me wearing this somewhere at a work function and immediately, give the nod, give the that's what's up. But I love this. We've got the red tie here with the, can I raise this up a little bit? How well can you see that? There we go. The red tie with the Breath of the Wild Z and the Triforce insignia there. I absolutely love. As well as a green tie, a Link green with the writing, with the I believe it is, I forget the name of sort of the group there, but it is sort of the the writing of the ancients, which I really dig. I think that's going to be the one that people aren't going to recognize at first. I think you'll find some real deep cuts if we get that there. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a lot I got from the Nintendo store, and I get that. Again, I was trying to, spread money out over all my shopping on this trip, but, as far as what they had and what I felt, I can get away with as an adult. I don't like doing the t-shirt design. It's got to be, again, more subtle. This was absolutely my speed. I'm very happy with these I got here. Next is the Jump Store. Did not get, a ton, at the Jump Store, but I did want some One Piece stuff to walk away with. Starting with, I got this cute little, this was free. They gave this to you, this little Wanted Dead or Alive. And they actually have a thing where if you spend more money there, and you get a rewards card, you start getting the rest of the crew. So I'm going to try to post this up, maybe frame this in a small way. This I'm a little more, I'm going to put that there for right now so you can keep all your stuff in sight. This I'm a little more excited about. It is a 3D, I'm not going to build this here during the video, but it is a 3D frame, sort of a shadow box frame that you get to build yourself. So you pop it out, and it's that, that amazing moment of the, Luffy, I need your help during the whole Arlong Park arc. Just a great, amazing moment in the show. And I wanted, I love myself a little crafty project when I find time, and I thought I would try to build this together. So pretty happy with that. My piece de resistance, though. This one I'm really happy about. A little more overt. But you know what? I don't always bust out the blazer and t-shirt combo. Sometimes, I dress a little more festively. But check this guy out. A beautiful in white Gear 5 Luffy, sort of Hawaiian, short sleeve button down. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can lay this out on the table here. Oh, look at the designs there. Look, it's loud, like me, but it also, again, it's like you may not know if you're not familiar, and if you are, you absolutely know. Great design, great look. It's better than just, just a solid picture of Luffy punching the frame. I like this kind of all-over print style, and the shirt is soft. It's actually, this one I did already open ahead of time. It's big on me. Normally when you're shopping in Japan as an American, things tend to size a little smaller. I tried to accommodate for that, did not. And I'm not like I'm a small guy, but I'm not a small guy. So a little loose on me, but that's okay. For the summertime, blowing in the wind, if I'm taking the ferry anywhere, this is going to make me feel like the captain I've always wanted to be. I really dig it. I'm really excited. So that rounds out Shibuya. But wait, don't think we're done. See, no trip to Japan is complete without a visit to the legendary streets of Akihabara, where I definitely walk out with my biggest prize yet. But before we get to that, I had to stumble onto a small nerdy museum that I didn't even know existed, let alone expected to find on accident. Pretty neat stuff, so if you want to find out what that is, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification to not miss it when it drops this holiday week. Until then, stay cool, stay hip, stay heavy.